welcome to Strictly Business, sponsored by the Bellingham Business Association, the BBA, which is a non-profit organization that supports local business and gives back to the community. My name is Marjorie Turner-Hollman. I'm your host for today. I'm a longtime Bellingham resident, personal historian, freelance writer, and a member of the BBA. Now, as a personal historian, I help people turn their family stories they tell around the kitchen table into written stories that they can be proud to share with their family and friends. I start that process by listening to stories, and we have some good stories to hear today. So today's guests are Greg Barker, representing the New England Country Club, and Paul Nilson of Urban West Insurance Group. Welcome, Greg and Paul.
Welcome, Marjorie.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being with us on this segment of Strictly Business. Our focus for today is on two things: the upcoming BBA Scholarship Golf Tournament, which is to be held at the New England Country Club, and we want to talk about some health insurance, the Affordable Care Act. Now, both Greg and Paul can tell us something about the golf tournament, and Paul is also going to help us understand a little bit more about Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. But first, why don't we start with each of you telling us a little bit about your background, how you got into your business, and what you love about it. Paul, you want to go first?
I started selling insurance in 1974 as a debit agent for Boston Mutual, and quickly found out that going out at night to see mom and pop at their house was not the way to make money. I was the leading agent in the company my first year and didn't make a whole lot of money.
Oh dear.
I went to work for a guy who did only businesses, selling benefit packages. I was with him for 2 years, started making some real money because that's where the money is, and then opened my own after 2 years with him.
Okay,
And I've never looked back. I worked straight commission, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay. And Greg, tell us a little bit about your background. You are the groundskeeper?
I'm the golf course superintendent at New England Country Club. Yeah. I worked on a golf course during high school and colleges during the summertime. And after I graduated from college the first time, I got into some business, and after a couple of years realized that I really wanted to get back into the golf business. That was my true calling. So when I was 30 years old, I went to UMass Stockbridge, which has an agronomy degree, which is the study of turf grasses, which
no kidding. Grass.
people find that funny. And so I graduated in 1984. I worked in Brookline at the country club until the year 2000. And tutored under a great superintendent there. And then I've been at New England Country Club for the last 12 years.
Now, you said you'd studied turf grasses, but you also mentioned something about trees. So did you learn about trees then, or have you had to learn about trees since then?
I think it's an ongoing process. We did take some of our classes were in arboriculture.
Okay.
But the whole, and there's a separate degree for that.
Okay.
But so I learned something about trees when I was in school, but a lot of it is trial and error. And
on the job training?
Yeah, on the job training.
All right.
There's not too much room for error. But
I guess not.
But that's something we do all winter when we're closed to make the course easier to play.
So you work in the winter because people don't golf? You're a golfer, Paul.
Yes.
You don't golf in the winter, do you?
Not usually, not in Massachusetts.
So, but the golf course stays open or no?
We usually are open until Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Probably the Sunday after Thanksgiving, just weather-wise, and we are closed until usually the middle of March.
Okay.
Although this year was an exception. We were open actually in February this year. It was
Wow.
such a mild year.
Now, there's a restaurant there.
There's first of all, the golf course is open to the public.
Yeah.
It's a completely public
Okay.
golf course where anyone can come play there and everyone's welcome.
No memberships that.
We do have memberships, but it's usually a group of people that play in the mornings.
Okay, but it's not required.
It's not required, so
Okay.
it is open to everybody.
Yeah?
You can book your tea time through the full-service pro shop or online.
Okay.
And yes, we do have a very good full-service bar and restaurant.
And that stays open?
And it's called Egan's Pub, and that is open when the course is open.
Okay.
Actually, I believe it's always April 1st, even if we're open a little earlier.
Okay.
But
So spring, summer, and fall?
Yep.
I've eaten there. It's very nice.
Yeah, the food is exceptional there.
I agree.
Okay. All right. So I guess that was going to be my next question, was what services do you provide? And so for the golf course, it's dining and golfing, and what other services are there?
Well, yeah, the golf course obviously is there for golfing. We have the full-service Egan's Pub, which is open during the week from 11 to, I believe, 8, and on weekends 11 to 6. Mm-hmm. And you can get a full menu there. It's very, very good food and a full bar.
Okay. There's a pro shop?
Yep, it's a full-service pro shop with a full practice facility. And you don't even have to play golf there to use the practice facility if you want to just come hit balls.
For a fee? For free?
Yep.
The price of the ball.
You buy a little bucket of balls.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's terrific.
Yep.
Okay.
And the facility, I'm sorry, I'm jumping.
No, go. No,
talk about it.
this
The
is a
facility
conversation.
is a fabulous facility for practicing. It's Hale Irwin Design Golf Course. It's a beautiful venue.
Yeah. It's really hilly.
I remember, well, that's what the carts are
It's
for us old guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful golf course.
Yeah. Okay. And then my question, you started with the training, so some training of your job, because then I want to get to Paul about his training. So, Joe, you went to college to train for your job. A lot of it's been on the job training?
Correct. Yeah, it was a 2 years associate's degree, but I've been in the business for 30 years now, and all the training basically is on the job training.
Okay.
And you learn from assistants that you work for and superintendents that you work for.
Okay. It sounds like you've had some good ones.
I've had some great ones, yes.
All right. Paul, you were talking to me about some training that I was pretty surprised about.
Well, to sell Medicare supplements.
This Part D.
Yes,
Yeah.
just Part D, but there
Yep.
are supplements and Part D.
Yep.
Sometimes with the same company, sometimes you sell them with different companies.
Mm-hmm.
The testing required every year to get certified to offer these products to your clients.
To just be able to sell them.
Just be able to sell
Okay.
them. For one of the carriers that I'm with, it's like 8 hours of tests online,
Wow.
and they're not easy. Okay, and it's every year to be recertified. So there's an awful lot of education because they want the people selling these federal supplements and Part D plans to know what they're talking about. And that's a good thing in the long run. But it does limit the number of people who can sell the product.
Right.
Because not everybody can pass these tests.
Because you can't just put out a little shingle and say, I sell insurance.
Well, no, you have to get a license from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
Okay.
prior to doing any of this stuff.
But then to be able to sell specific ones,
Yes.
you have to be licensed for those as well.
You have to be certified.
Certified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was surprising to me when you mentioned that. I didn't realize
Well,
what was
when
involved.
you're involved with federal programs, there are a lot of restrictions and rules that you have to follow.
Okay. Well, I'd like to hear about the golf tournament because we have a golf tournament coming up for the BBA coming up in September. And so what if people haven't participated before, how do they sign up?
All they have to do is contact the Bellingham Business Association, talk to Sue Ranieri probably, and she'll give you all the information you need to sign up. You don't even have to have a foursome. You can sign up as a one. We'll hook you up with 3 other players. You can just come for the meal if you don't play golf. The meal, I believe, is $25 instead of the fee for the golf and the meal combined. But my favorite part of the tournament is the raffle afterwards. It is hysterical.
What makes it so funny?
Oh, people are rooting against each other for the prizes. We've got one guy who's very generous every year who gives a book of 300 scratch tickets.
Oh, gosh.
And we raffle it off on a par 3. Okay, and everybody's rooting against everybody else because they want to win it. But the guy who donates this prize, every year he wins 6 or 7 prizes in the raffle.
Oh,
and it seems like if you sit near him, you will too.
oh, how funny. Oh, how funny.
And everybody, oh, it's just, I remember one year this big heavy-set burly guy won a day of beauty at the at one of the beauty salons in town.
Yeah.
And he was looking to trade it to someone to get something else.
Dear.
And to me, the raffle and the meal afterwards and the conversation afterwards is the best part of the tournament.
Oh, good. Well, who benefits from the fundraising?
Well, the proceeds are used to buy scholarships for Bellingham students to go to college. They don't have to go to Bellingham High. They can go to some of the other
Right, as long as
other
they're
schools,
Bellingham
as long
residents.
as they're Bellingham residents. And I believe we've upped the scholarship from $1,000 per person to $1,500 per person this year.
Yes,
So
we
it's been
have.
going very well, and I want to thank all the small businesses and all the large businesses that support us year in and year out. The generosity of these businesses, even in tough times, is inspiring.
Wonderful, thank you. So, what happens during the tournament? How does the New England Country Club prepare for when a tournament is going to happen? What happens, Greg? What's
well,
your part
in the
of
case
that?
of Paul, his group will notify the pro shop weeks before.
Months before.
Months before.
About what they want as a course setup, where they want some of their closest to the pin holes, longest driving holes, closest to the line holes.
Yeah.
And that's all worked out along with what meals are going to be served and how many people there will most likely be. And the night before or the morning of, usually the night before, I will look at what they're requiring or requesting, and that morning of the tournament, we'll go out and set the course up accordingly, and then try to get out of their way.
And try to get, try to stay out of the way.
Yes.
All right. And what about you? What during the tournament? Because I know you've participated many times.
We play for fun, and we play for some prizes. There are teams there that are very strong year in and year out. There are teams that are not, and they'll usually win first and second place. But there are other prizes available to anybody who comes up with a good shot at the right time. Longest drive could go to anyone who can hit the ball for distance. We have female and male longest drive prizes. We have closest to the pin prizes, and we have that roll of lottery tickets for our closest to the pin on another par 3.
Do you have any booby prizes for people that aren't very good golfers?
Not yet. I think they have a boiled owl prize, but you know, it might be a golf umbrella or something like that.
Right.
But the prizes are very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a wonderful event.
Okay.
And as I said, it really helps us provide the scholarships. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year.
It's nice. We just supported some, both turned out to be young women, these last year's recipients, and both heading towards business as that's one of the qualifications.
It's nice to see some of these children who win these scholarships, because almost invariably they have their heads on very, very tightly secured, and
some good kids.
They're going in the right direction. It's nice to see.
It's nice to be able to support them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Paul, we've talked a little bit about insurance, and we know that's your field. Inquiring minds want to know about the Affordable Care Act, because it is baffling to all of us. So I'd like to take this opportunity while we got you here, besides talking about the golf tournament, tell us a little bit about what that means for regular Joe Schmo and all the rest of us.
The number of things involved could go on for
Just
ever,
give us,
but
can you give us some
important factors
Yeah.
would be unlimited care for several things that used to be limited.
such as?
Psychiatric,
Wow.
drug and alcohol abuse. They also have, as of July 1st this year, stopped insurance companies from using deductibles on screening tests for diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, several other items. So
Okay, so preventative type
when
stuff.
you go to your doctor's office and you have a condition and it's a screening test, you need to make sure that the doctor notes it as a screening test on the bill so you don't get hit with the deductible, because as of July 1st, just last month, those are all going to be paid first dollar and not go towards your deductible, which is a big deal, because it's easy to run up $600, $700, $1,200 in a test,
Sure. Sure.
as opposed to having it picked up in full under the new law. The donut hole is disappearing rapidly.
For the prescription drugs.
For the prescription drugs on the supplements.
Okay.
By 2020, it's supposed to be gone, assuming things continue along the way they're going.
Right.
And you have to assume these days, because
What about the pre-existing
change.
conditions?
there have been no pre-existing conditions in Massachusetts since April 1st of 1992, except on individual contracts, not on group insurance.
Right.
If you own a business and buy group insurance, there are no pre-X's, period. So if you walk in with an unhealthy group and start putting in huge claims, they have to pay them, period. No exceptions.
Because of Massachusetts law.
Yes, and the federal law is going to follow that guideline.
Wow.
And
So Massachusetts has been leading the way.
yes.
Oh my.
But as the claims start rolling in on some of this stuff, you're going to see the prices dramatically increase.
Oh dear.
A couple of the things that a lot of people aren't aware of is on Medicare supplements, you can avoid the donut hole if you own a small or large business. If you have under 20 employees, all of your employees who are 65 or over that are working for you or retired can purchase a supplement through the business
At business rates.
at business rates. The company gets a tax deduction for them, and there is no donut hole on group plans.
No kidding.
So I'm amazed at how many business owners aren't aware of this. So I'll go into a company and they'll have an individual supplement, and I'll say, why? If they happen to be one of those people that has these $5,000 shots for cancer, they're paying the $4,700 every year for the maximum out of pocket on the donut hole. That would disappear if they're using one of these plans. And that's for every employee. Under 20, you can still be working for the company to benefit from this. Over 20 employees, only retirees.
Huh.
Okay? So they're helping they're finally helping the small business with something.
All right. Well, that sounds like some good news. I'd like to know something about each of your businesses that our viewers might not be aware of. What's something surprising or something that we wouldn't think of? I know you talked about working in the winter. What do you do in the winter?
I keep 4 guys on full time.
No kidding.
And we spend a majority of the winter, weather permitting, and we'll do it even in snow, and doing tree work at New England. People who have played there in the past know how tight and narrow the place used to be, and we've gone a long way in trying to widen it up and make it user friendly. So we've taken down
You've opened it up
quite a few trees to make it more playable.
Okay.
And I think it's working. It still can be a hard course, but and we'll never take too many trees down. We could never. There's too many. But it opens up some views, and you see more of the old stone walls through there. It's really a unique piece of property. So we spend the winters trying to beautify it, and then the summers trying to keep the turf in good condition and hang on, basically.
Now, so those of us who don't golf, is there any way we could ever just walk the course? Is that anything that's...
During play, it probably wouldn't be the best idea.
You're going to get hit.
Yes.
Okay.
During the winter months, absolutely.
Oh,
and
okay.
Once in a while, we'll notice a cross-country skier that uses the place.
And that's okay?
As long as everyone
as long as people
is safe and they behave, yeah. It's a really unique piece of land.
Yeah, that's very intriguing for me.
The New England Country Club befits the name. It's very New Englandy with fields and stone walls.
It sounds lovely.
Yeah,
I've really
it's a pretty piece
never
of
been on
It
there.
is a pretty piece of property, no question.
What about you, Paul? What's something surprising about your business?
Well, in addition to the benefit packages that I sell to corporations, I'm involved with lawyers in Dedham. I do some estate planning work, asset protection, elder care planning.
Yeah?
I show business owners how to have control and benefit of their assets without owning them. And the reason for not owning them is if you die owning anything in this country and you're worth, in Massachusetts, over $1 million, everything over $1 million is taxed by the Commonwealth at 18%, scaled down to 15%.
Okay.
Starting in 2013, the feds are going to go to 45% of everything over $3.5 million. So if you have some assets, you don't want to own them, and there are trusts available to remove them from your name, and to take advantage of these trusts is not as expensive as it used to be. This is how the wealthy people in this country have passed wealth down to their sons, grandsons, et cetera, generation after generation.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that I didn't ask you all about? Is there anything else about the tournament? Is there something else about the golf course that anything else you didn't touch on, Greg, or anything more about the tournament?
I guess actually one thing I would like to add is that the golf course has become a really good value and one of the better values for golf courses in the state. And I think people will.
What do you mean when it's a value?
For the greens fee that we charge for the golf course that you get, we think it's a great value.
I agree. There are courses that charge less, but you can see the difference between those courses.
What's the difference?
The difference is, well,
I don't know, because I'm not a golfer.
Can I slander some people here in town, or should I?
No, don't.
Okay.
No, just, well, okay, making differences, but what is it that makes it so unique for you?
The service, the way they treat you at this golf course versus some of the other courses I've been to. The beauty, as he mentioned, it's not just about playing golf. It's like when you look up and look around and take a big, it's like a picture postcard. Okay?
Really?
There are golf courses that just have that quality.
Yeah.
They have it. New Seabury down the Cape, their outside course. They have ocean holes, the same type of situation. They're a high quality golf course, period.
At a very affordable price.
And they're
Oh, yay.
We want to make sure we get that.
They're worth what they charge, in my opinion, without a doubt.
Okay. Well, you've certainly educated a non-golfer, so I'm ready to go take a hike this winter on my snowshoes.
Great.
So
Bring the camera.
Oh yeah, I'd like to. So, all right, well, with the time remaining, I want to remind our viewers again about the BBA golf tournament that's going to be Monday, September 10th. And that's going to be a 3:30 shotgun start at New England Country Club with donations, raffle prizes, and sponsorships are welcome. What's a shotgun start?
They put 2 foursomes out on every tee, and they start them at the same time. That way the people who are going off the first hole don't have to wait for everybody to go before them to start playing.
There's no shotgun involved.
There's no shotgun?
No?
No.
I really didn't know. Okay.
Well,
that's what I keep getting educated.
Scattergun is the reason they call it a shotgun start.
All
they scatter them all over the golf course.
So that's Monday.
All at the same time.
That's Monday, September 10th. Shotgun start at 3:30, New England Country Club. For more information about upcoming meetings, other events, and the BBA, we encourage you to visit our website, www.bellinghambusinessassociation.org. And in closing, I want to thank Greg Barker of New England Country Club and Paul Nilson of Urban West Insurance Group for being our guests today. Please check back in for the next edition of Strictly Business coming in September.